Hello! Today we're going to give you a tutorial on SocialFeast API, which will allow us to integrate into our website. So the portal would be a socialfeast.com/API. And this is the interface here. Here is the documentation link, which will provide you all the services details, and there is a key generation which will allow us to use the key for the web services. So first we have to register our application through a portal, which is here, is a link Register an App. Here it needs a SocialFeast username and password. And here is a field which is a domain title, which will describe you the whatever domain you are integrating with the SocialFeast. Here is my credentials. Here is my password. This is my domain name. And this is my domain URL. Now I have given my username and password of the SocialFeast account. Only SocialFeast users can use the API version. We need a domain title and a URL to register an app. Here we will register our app, and it generates an API key. This API key we will use in our web services, so we will copy this API key and then use it later on. So now I will show you how web services works. Here is a documentation link, and these are all the web services that we have exposed. There is a System Connect service which will allow us to know that whether the session has been created or not. The user login service will provide us the login interface. We can log in to the SocialFeast website through API logout service, which will log out the system. So we will start with the login system. I will show you on a website how it will integrate, which we'll need to integrate in our website. So this is the code example. There is a simple PHP code which will require an API key, which we have already prepared in the register key process. A session ID is required. A session ID would get from a System Connect service, which will give us a session ID, which we'll use here. There we will create a hash, timestamp, nonce, and session ID, and a curl request, which will post a request to our SocialFeast server, and it will then give us a result. Let's see how it works on a running website. So this is the website which we were going to integrate SocialFeast API. And in service, we have created a page, Social Networking. And these are the feeds that is coming from using API. So let's see how the code works here. We have put some styling here so that readability and usability would be there. Let's see how the code level works. We need a username and a password and a URL, which we'll post here. A URL would be the same that we have mentioned on the API site. A domain, which we have registered in API key, which is the same key that results in a registered key process. So let's go to the first service call. This is the service call of api.system.connect that will give us a session ID, which we'll later use on login service. And then we have used an aggregate stream service, which will give us all the social networking feeds in a call. So this is the curl request. And we have created a curl request and calling here. This will return a JSON in JSON format, and it will give us a result here. So first we have to call a System Connect service. Then user login service. And then I have put up the aggregated stream service. Aggregated stream service will return all the feeds of the social networking accounts that we have associated in our SocialFeast website. So all the code samples are provided in the socialfeast.com/API. We have got the results, and we have formatted in creating some tips HTML tag, and then when we are going to save, here is a preview of this. These are the things that we have created from the SocialFeast API. This is the ZSC Consulting Twitter account that is being associated on the SocialFeast website. Here we have gotten the Twitter account, Twitter feeds, and Facebook feeds aggregately, so we can go and for here. So this is the tutorial that we have discussed for the services level. Details would be provided on socialfeast.com/API. Hope you have enjoyed this tutorial.